We must say clearly and forcefully that anti-Semitism and all forms of hate and violence have no place in America. And silence is complicity, and it cannot remain silent. I will not remain silent. You should not either.
That is President Biden. An address after the administration released the first ever national strategy to counter anti-Semitism. Last year, anti-Semitic incidents in the U.S. hit a record number. And joining us now is Ambassador Deborah Lipstadt. She is the administration's Special Envoy to monitor and counter anti-Semitism. She joins us now. Ambassador, thank you very much for being with us. First, we've seen an alarming rise in anti-Semitic incidents around the country, more than 3,600 last year alone. What's causing it?
Well, it's hard to give one easy explanation. I think there's been divisions in this country. I think there have been voices raised that have allowed extremism to express themselves. And I think there's something now that we have called social media, which is a delivery system and allows for copycat and views being spread more widely. And I think there's also the last thing is just the normalization. If it starts, it gets repeated, and that's dangerous.
Your strategy, you call them pillars. It consists of essentially 3 pillars. We'll go through them very quickly here. Increase awareness and understanding of anti-Semitism, including its threat to America, and broaden appreciation of Jewish American heritage. 2, improve safety and security for Jewish communities. And 3, reverse the normalization, you just spoke of this, of anti-Semitism and counter anti-Semitic discrimination. Ambassador, forgive me for saying so, but these sound like very broad, almost generic goals. How are they going to make a difference?
Well, the fact of the matter is what makes this different from other statements, and we've had presidents, vice presidents, government leaders speak out on anti-Semitic acts before. First of all, this is the first time the United States government at the highest level is taking the bull by the horns and saying, what can we do about it? And in this 60-page strategy, which can easily be downloaded by going to whitehouse.gov, over 24 different government agencies have participated with specific, you're right, the titles are generic, but when you look at the details, you have Department of Education, Department of Justice, Homeland Security, the Smithsonian, National Endowment for the Arts, Humanities, across the board, looking at their programs, and they're saying, what can we do to either diffuse anti-Semitism or enhance the situation of Jews vis-a-vis.
So what you're saying is this is the first time a cross-government effort has been made to address this issue. Ambassador, I want to something you tweeted this morning caught our eye. I'll read it very quickly, or at least the first part of it. You say Jewish students and educators are targeted for derision and exclusion on college campuses, often because of their real or perceived views about the state of Israel. What did you mean by that?
Well, first of all, that comes from the report. And the assumption is made, either real or perceived, the assumption is made, if you're a Jew, you support everything about Israel. If you're a Jew, you should be obligated to defend Israel. Or what's happened on a number of campuses, if you want to be part of student government, if you want to be on a committee, you have to denounce Israel. I call that sort of reverse McCarthyism.
Right.
So that's very problematic and very worrisome.
Well, I mean, obviously you're aware of the incident that just happened at the graduation of the law school at City University of New York. A student there giving a speech at the graduation, Fatma Musa Muhammad, I think her name was, she accused Israel of, quote, murdering the old and the young, and, quote, settler colonialism, expelling people from their homes. Some on the Board of Trustees are calling it hate speech. Do you agree?
Well, I think it certainly fits into some of the categories as elucidated and listed in the strategy. I don't want to make a specific comment because there's now a discussion in Congress about funding, and there may be some federal institutions looking. So I don't want to bollocks up the what would happen after here. Plus the fact my remit is overseas. That it was exceptionally disturbing goes without question.
Well, I'm obviously, I don't want to ask you about what's going on in Congress and cutting funding and all the political issues that would happen here in Washington about it. It just appears to me that this is the kind of thing that you tweeted about earlier today.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, well, does it classify as hate speech is my specific question.
I'm going to stay away from that again because there's a possibility of legal issues, but that it's very disturbing. If I were sitting in that graduating class and listening to this, first of all, I'd ask, why is this the issue being addressed? And yeah. I would have felt as a Jew potentially unsafe by those comments.
I see.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.